So the way that the differentials work, there's a lever here. That lever keeps in its current position, keeps the differential open. Once you push or you tug on this little part that protrudes here, like this, like so, then it locks the differential. The problem is that for some reason it is spring loaded, meaning that, as time goes by, there will be fatigue and your spring will break. Because there's no part number, good luck finding a spring for that. You're going to have to change the entire axle. And it's this entire philosophy of multiple points of failures that I really, I'm having a bit of an issue here with this truck. Um, as I mentioned earlier, I have this, I put in this transmission here because I wanted to replace the planetary gear. This is a scale truck, so what are you going to do? You're going to be towing stuff. As a matter of fact, it comes with a tow hitch here. The gears in the planetary gears are always smaller. They will break. That's inevitable. I put in a 2-speed transmission here with normal gears, and if they break, it's going to be easier for me to change them. The problem is, in order to actuate, to shift that transmission, there's either tension in the spring, because it is also spring loaded at this point here. There is either tension in this spring that's inside here, or in the springs of the locker. So essentially, you can never leave the truck in a state where either one of the spring will be in a relaxed state. Either this guy will have tension in it, or this guy. So you're either deciding to weaken your transmission or your axles. You pick your poison. I'm not sure which one I'll decide to sabotage at this point, but that's a bit of a concern. The other thing is, it's the cables there, they will inevitably sag, with time. It's metal, it stretches. That's just the nature of the beast. Also, one thing that I've noticed, there can never be zero tension in that transmission, meaning that low gear requires a certain amount of tension. High gear requires an even higher amount of tension. So there are quite a few points of failure there, but most importantly, it's difficult, for the consumer to be able to buy. So apology, that's my battery charger there. It's difficult for the consumer to be able to replace parts and to store the vehicle in a way that's going to prevent failures. So I do think it's a bit of a weakness, but then again, this could be addressed if the vehicle was treated, and distributed in a normal way, meaning with a manual, with part numbers, and you'd be. But then again, that's typically what happens when with unfortunately, JD products. They look great, but you know you got to be careful with them. There's an element of collectability, I guess, that comes with them, and I can appreciate that definitely. But just keep in mind that it's not like your typical Axial, your TRX4 or whatever. You got to be careful, and you can't go too hard on these vehicles because working on them is complicating. Getting parts is complicated, and yeah, you may run into a little bit of a pickle here.